Time Masterpool.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Ripping.
It made the 450 class fun.
It did. It did. Yep. He's burned through a lot of teams. I don't think he and his dad gel with teams, and teams gel with them. And they got their own way of doing things down in Texas. And look, it works. They may be out of the van for the rest of their time, but it works. So,
I mean, you watch the kid ride.
Yeah.
0 Fs.
Yep.
But still has good technique.
Dude, he's standing up everywhere.
Yep.
Yep.
So, like, he sent it in areas that he needed to send it in, like pass and web and that really heavy, ruddy braking bump area.
Mm-hmm.
And he was riding the yellow markers like nobody else. Like, he would ride on top of those yellow Achereby's markers and I think it's creative lines. People are like, oh, he's cheating. No. Like, I feel like he is on that edge of, like, finding the smooth line. And he would. Like, before the big triple step up by the hill, there was that little bump chicane, and he would cut that thing straight across and not even hit the bump because the yellow marker was just away from that bump enough that he could ride on the inside of it.
By the sign, you mean?
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like everybody whips it off that triple tabletop.
Yep.
That corner before, like he was doing that money. But
it was cool. It was awesome. I mean, he passed factory riders. Like, we're gonna get into the factory ride thing later. You know, I was talking about it on Twitter today a little bit. AC had something to say on Twitter today. We'll get into that a little bit. He doesn't have the same success in Supercross, so that's a big thing for Time Masterpool. But I firmly believe, I'll start with you, Roto, he's for real. Like, he's going to do this all summer.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, he's this good.
Yeah. It's not a fluke, and people are going to come back. Factory guys are going to come back, and he's going to beat them.
Yeah.
And they're going to be, they're going to be mad about it. We're going to have this conversation through August.
Yeah,
for
as
sure.
long as he stays on the bike and stays healthy and shows up. You know, I mean, in Hangtown, he was outside. He was 25th, 30th. And ripped all the way to 6th or 7th in first moto. Like, he was noticeably faster than Freddie and Drake and these other guys. Ripped through the pack. And the second moto did really well. And then this weekend we all saw what happened. Like, this is 4 motos in a row. He's 8th in the points after missing a race. He's 8th in the points.
Yeah.
This is real. This is for real. Yeah.
And I guess, he just got his suspension done for this weekend.
Yeah.
That's what I heard, right?
Yeah.
He was on 250 stuff last weekend.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel
you hear stuff like that, and I just shake my head a little bit. But
this what makes it weird, right? You say you want a good program, and we're not going to go XYZ with this team because it's not like this, but yet you're running 250 suspension. So you're ready. You're willing to do it janky on your end, but if it's a little janky on someone else's end, we're out.
Right.
So that's what's kind of weird to me. But nonetheless, we're used to seeing guys that good and then getting to the factory guys, and then that's what you got, right?
Yeah.
He did that and then went through a couple of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no way. I couldn't even believe it.
It was great.
And then I thought, okay, he got by Ferrandis. I'm like, Ferrandis is going to get him here again soon. Dude, it took him all moto.
Oh, yeah. He didn't get him to the last lap. Yeah.
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 It's crazy. When's the last time we had a rider like that? Have we?
I feel like Cody Schock did that a couple summers ago. Did Schock beat some factory guys?
No.
He
not
didn't?
at that level. You're beating good factory riders.
I don't know.
Yeah, Schock wasn't taking it to a champion like Ferrandis.
Right, or Webb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know. Like Gavin Graysick, there's always a guy.
Yeah.
But whether they be any factory guys, you're right. Yeah.
Maybe, God, I can't think of his name. The off-road guy that rode for Cowie got a factory ride. Dietrich.
Yeah.
Dietrich was like that,
Yeah,
too.
before he got the ride.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. He was. But it was cool. It was really neat to see. And great job by Time Masterpool. And, yeah, he's in shape.
How tall is he? You interviewed him, so is he short?
Yeah, he's pretty short.
Like
yeah.
5'6"-ish?
Yeah.
7?
Yeah.
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 Did we know if he had any kind of engine work? Was it a stock Cowie?
I don't know, man. Okay. I don't know. He's not a great interview. He's a nice kid.
Right.
But I've done some interviews with him, and he's not a great interview. He's not like...
How old is he?
20? 21?
Okay.
He's not super personable, right? He's nice. He's nice. He's just...
Green?
Sure. Yeah. Say green. So I didn't really get a lot out of the interview that I did with him, But what did you make of Stu's comments about suspension? The split screen with Adam. Roto, you saw that too?
Yeah.
The split screen and all that. What did you make of that?
What he said was accurate in the fact that he was kind of tread lightly because, like, he was trying to say, hey, man, these guys aren't as good as these factory guys. Their stuff's softer. So it normally is that way just because of the aftermarket suspension companies running that type of suspension. When you get factory stuff, which I have ridden, it's just built tougher in the world of like valving than it is for like me and you to go to Enzo and get our stuff done. Usually when you build stuff that's stiff, like at an Enzo, you get harshness. With factory stuff, you can have a stiffer setting and not get that harshness, right? So I agree with what he was saying on, hey, normally these guys' stuff, the privateers is softer, so they might have a better chance. But those guys like Harlan, Masterpool, these guys are still riding at a high level, so you need hold up.
Yeah.
So I don't fully agree on some of that stuff. I think Masterpool had a different line choice, and I feel like his technique allowed him to push it. And maybe Cooper Webb's bike isn't the one we should be judging on because we know the stories behind that and some problems being rigid. So I understand what he was trying to say, which was cool, and it was about time someone brought some of that stuff to light.
Yep.
But I think the direction was kind of wrong.
We talked about it on our review show, and it's like also all of these factory guys come from Supercross,
Yeah,
and they're on Supercross stuff for 8 months a year.
correct.
And if you were to throw on a super soft MXGP setting, they would freak out. Just like when Geyser came here and they threw some Supercross stuff on for Monster Cup. I mean, he lost his mind. He's like, I can't ride this. It's impossible. You're going from such a wide range, Supercross to moto to MXGP stuff, let's say, or Thai Masterpool stuff, that the guys don't have enough time to even get used to it.
Yeah,
So I think his point about factory stuff being stiffer is correct.
it is.
But I believe it's because you can't shock these guys and actually have enough time to get all the way soft where you need to be. I mean, it's no secret. When you watch MXGP, to me anyways, when I watch MXGP, their bikes are like teeter-totters compared to American guys. They're going up and down and up and down, and they're making that work for them. American guys' stuff is noticeably stiffer, and that's a Supercross influence.
You guys really want to see what it's like. Go back to the broadcast. Look at the finish line jump. You want to see the difference between Masterpool's bike or Adams or anything. When they land off of the finish line onto the landing, watch Masterpool's bike load and then unload, and then watch Adams. It's a lot different. You will see some of these privateers' heads kind of smack a little bit more than the factory guys because it's just moving more.
Yeah.
So,
and I brought up on the review pod, Roto, like the flip side of what James was showing was watching a privateer enter whoops in Supercross, and then watching a privateer factory guy enter whoops in Supercross. And it's the same motorcycle with revalve suspension. However, the factory guy is on top.
Right.
And the privateer guy is.
And there are some tracks that having the soft stuff is a benefit. I didn't think Thunder Valley would be one of those because it's deep and there's bumps inside those deep-ass ruts. So you want more hold up. But a track like Paula, Hangtown, Mount Morris coming up, it gets choppy, right?
Yep.
So maybe that will be more noticeable there. But I think it's just cool they're talking more about bike setup on the broadcast, and James brought that up.
Not a mindset.
Or elevation. It's just like it's cool to hear stuff about the dirt bikes.
Yes.
The core people that watch moto want to know about the dirt bike.
Right.
Like, I want to know what's in
There's a lot of this mindset, and he's got to want it more, and you're just like,
you can't relate to
what
that.
What does that mean?
Right.
Like, show me what the rear end is doing of the motorcycle, or a line selection.
It's not quantifiable for us normal guys. We want to see. Tell me about the parts of the bike because I can relate that to my bike.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
Right. Roto?
Yeah, that's true. I like what Stu brings into it because, everybody has their opinion of who's the best person in the booth. But because him and Ricky can obviously both be considered top 4 in the class or whatever, Mount Rushmore. But the way that I definitely think the way that James conveys that kind of stuff. Do you think it's something where Ricky, because he was factory his entire life, where James kind of had some lesser rides that he is a little bit more involved?
No, James didn't have any lesser rides.
Maybe he's talking about like JGR and things like that.
Those are great, but I'm just saying that's not.
No, I think it's a little indication that James is a little more degaff.
Okay.
James is like, I don't really care. I'm going to say it. And I think Ricky's worried about hurting feelings.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point,
And I know Fro was. Emig was
That's a great point.
Scared to death.
Those two guys, Ricky and Fro, they're still tied in the industry.
Yeah.
James is out.
Yeah.
Like
I think James is degaff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to just say this, and I don't really care if Cowie or someone else comes down on me.
Right.
Yeah, because he could lose that gig, and they could say, "Hey, we don't want you back," and he's like, "Okay, I'll just take all of these fans, and I'll just go then." I guess.
Yeah. I don't think James cares. Absolutely.
One thing I wish he would have elaborated on more, especially for us old school fans, was when JT brought up the fact of how stiff James ran his forks.
Right.
And James never really talked about why he ran his fork that way. He kind of explained it really quickly, but didn't dive into I ran it because of XYZ. He never did that. And that's
I think he ran it because he was going so goddamn fast in the whoops.
Right.
You know what I mean? All right, we got some phone calls here. Matt's on too. Matt, what's up, man? You want to talk about Thunder Valley?